Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 764, The Husbands of River Song, part 1. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Merry Christmas, everybody. We know it's Christmas today because we're crying after watching an episode of Doctor Who.
Yes, Merry Christmas. And, you know, for years, I had predicted that a Christmas special was going to be devoted to the final River Song story, the Singing Towers of Beryllium. And I said it was going to happen for years and years and years. We knew we were going to have a River Song story. We weren't sure that it was going to be this. But I got to say, you know, the last 20 minutes really took off the episode for me. Because in the beginning, I'm like, what the heck? How long is this going to go on? That she doesn't know it's him. But I got to say, like, it was a fitting send-off. And the fact that I guess he's going to be spending 24 years with her. Because the night lasts 24 years. It's really nice. This is probably the last River Song story, I'm going to say. I really doubt we're going to have another one because she basically never saw his face before. So the only way we could have River return is the one from after the library, which I really don't know if that's going to happen. But overall, the complete package, I'm satisfied. In the beginning, I wasn't liking it with the nonsense, but once it got into the main River Doctor thing, you know, I could do without the King Hydrofax and all that other nonsense, but it was a really good episode. What do you have to say, Chris?
I really loved it. I think this might be my favorite Christmas special, honestly. The thing I loved about it so much was the interaction between this Doctor and River.
Right.
And finally, I can say it from the highest mountain. We were right. She knew the 11th Doctor really didn't love her.
Right.
But this Doctor does.
Right. Exactly.
And we were right. We were totally right. And I just love the fact that she wasn't in control of him like she normally is.
Right. Totally not.
In this one, they were on like a level playing field.
Yes.
Because she would say a quip and then he'd be just as fast to respond. Yes. And this was a great episode.
I always knew, like, you could tell with the 11th Doctor and her, he did not love her.
Yeah.
You could tell that he loved Clara. He was close with Clara, you know, because that was who he loved. And then when Capaldi came into the picture as the 12th, you could tell that he still had something for Clara, but he basically, because of the age difference where he looked, he really didn't feel comfortable with that. But overall, you could even see the hints in the Last Christmas and, you know, the Hellbent that they both loved each other, but they just didn't, you know. Even she wound up falling in love with this Doctor too, I felt, Clara. Because all she wanted to do rather than find anybody else was be with the Doctor. You know, so, you know, that could be argued, but ultimately I'm glad that the Doctor was in control with River this time out. Where to her that's her Doctor, you know? Because basically he did spend more time with her than the 11th did. Or the 10th. I mean, 24 years. So that's the whole thing. I mean, 24 years is a lot. And, you know, here we have an adventure here and there, but, you know, there's a lot to be said. So, anything else?
There was just one thing I wanted to say, too. Like, some people might hear us complain about how things don't pay off.
Right.
Right? This was an example of something paying off and more. Like, this is what we're talking about. They set this up so long ago.
Yep.
And it wasn't like, oh, yeah, those are the towers.
It's like this was what, 2008 or something like long time. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what we mean by this wasn't complicated.
No.
It paid off exactly the way we had hoped, and it was even better.
It was even better than I envisioned it when it got to that point, because here it is. He took the diamond. Like, they showed it that the 11th never took her there. Every time he just didn't want to take her there because he knew that once he took her there, he would have to give her a sonic screwdriver, and then she goes to the library, and then it's over, you know? So he kept delaying it. And here it is now. Peter Capaldi gives her the sonic screwdriver for Christmas, starts crying, everything, even like, I got a new haircut and suit, you know, all the stuff. And it was just a beautiful thing that he basically made the guy build a restaurant around it by giving him the diamond. He set that whole thing up, made it part of history, all for her. And, you know, the jokes about, was he married to Marilyn Monroe? Was he married to, you know, all the different things? But, and then he got upset because you saw it. Like, if he didn't love her, he wouldn't care that she's with this guy, with this guy, with this guy. But it was all a ruse. She was using all these people. Just like she used the lipstick, the hallucinogenic lipstick to, you know, mind control people, whatever. It was all a ruse to get the diamond to give back to the people and all that other stuff. So I honestly am satisfied with the final story of River Song. And I do feel that this is the final story. So, I mean, I really don't, I am satisfied to bring her back after this. I couldn't see it. I don't think that would be right because this is the final chapter, you know? I mean, a lot of people, I mean, again, here's the thing, me saying, like, look, when the episode first started, I had my doubts because I was even talking to Sharon. I'm like, oh, this guy is ridiculous with the head. It's just stupid. How long is this going to go on? But the moment they got to that point, where she's like, he never really loved me. Like, I love him, but he never really loved me. Like, because for a second, I was getting worried because when she was talking about the journal and, you know, making this person out to be, you know, making him the hero and everything, I was getting a little upset. I'm like, oh, please don't make River out to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make her out to be like she's like, you never really loved him and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, but well, let me let you talk for a minute, Chris. Yeah, talk about that. What if you want, like, that scene?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I was worried too that she was gonna be like, oh yeah, I never really loved him. I was using him for, you know, the convenience and because, you know, he had the TARDIS and all this stuff and he knew what he was talking about. But I really kind of snapped back into it when, you know, she was reading the diary and he was like, then why do you look so sad? I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're trying to implement, they're trying to imply, I should say, that she's quote unquote using him when really she's not. She's genuinely in love with the Doctor. And I'm just glad that they finally vocalized this, that, you know, he didn't love her back then, but this incarnation does. And
he does.
I think that's perfect. And that's what we've been saying for so long, and that's what I believed for so long. And it's nice that it's like, there it is.
I'm glad, like, they acknowledge we're right.
Right.
I mean, look, here's the thing. A lot of people could say a lot of nasty stuff about me. You know, I'm not even going to say about our show and our people, right? Because they don't want to agree with Matrixlord. And Matrixlord don't know what he's talking about, or what, we don't know what we're talking about. But a lot of times we're right. We get it, like, dead on, you know? And I've been saying it. I says, don't be too surprised for years. Don't be too surprised if they do a River Song Doctor story on Christmas, the Singing Towers. And here it is. And I said it, the 11th didn't love her. I said it. And people are like, you're crazy. No, it doesn't make sense. You could tell he doesn't love her because even in the name of the Doctor, it didn't make sense because he's all into Clara. And now his wife shows up and she's like a ghost and whatever. And I'm like, it's not working. You know, it's like, you can't, she shouldn't have been a part of that because he's focused on Clara, Clara, my Clara, my Clara, my Clara. And I guess she focused into it because she was a ghost from the library or whatever. But he moved on. She died. He moved on. He loves Clara. That was like the whole thing, you know? And we're right. This incarnation, they're at the same age. Well, I'm sorry. Now we find out that she has this thing where she can age till 200 or hundreds of years, expanded lifespan without the regenerations. So that explains other things too now. But again, we were talking about it. They explained the diary, that because I said, how could, you know, the last page exactly mean the last adventure? That wouldn't make any sense, you know? And she explains it like he's so smart, he just figured out that the right amount of pages to be the right amount of adventure. Well, the TARDIS, I guess, created the book or whatever, you know? But they explain that. I like it that they explain things. This is what I want in Doctor Who. Resolving an overlong years plot point. You resolved it. You answered it. Congratulations. Thank you for that. Thank you for explaining the journal. Thank you for explaining the love. Thank you. Finally. Is that so much to ask for? That you finally, like, just answer some questions. I'm loving it. I'm loving the episode. Again, the beginning part of it I wasn't crazy about, but overall I could absolutely love this episode because I'm so happy they finally explained things. Finally. And not only that, but that's how awesome is that for 24 years he gets to be with his wife there. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, he was in the freaking confession dial for 4,500,000,000 years. He was, you know, on Trenzalore for like 1,000 years or 1,200 years. Like 24 years is nothing to him. So he's like, yeah, he's happily married 24 years with her. That's amazing. So, and who knows what comes from that? Who knows if they had children or whatever? You know? Wouldn't even know. That could be another thing. So, I'm totally, finally, you're gonna actually hear Matrixlord say, I'm satisfied that they explained what I wanted them to explain. They did what I wanted them to do, and that's put to rest. That subject, whatever song. I'm happy. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to clear up too. You know, it wasn't like we were watching this episode and then we saw it and we were like, "Ha we were right." No, I enjoyed the episode and I was like, "Yes." And then later on, I was like, "You see, this is what happens when you pay off the right way."
Yes.
It's not like the episode didn't end with him like, "You want to go see the Singing Towers?" Yeah.
No. He tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't want to let her go. He loved her.
I thought this was good. I'm giving this 10 out of 10, honestly. I am. 10 out of 10. This is one of the best episodes I've ever seen.
I'm going to watch it again because I usually do that before I get my rating, but I'm pretty sure the rating is going to be close to that. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with the results. Again, that is like the speeches he's been getting lately.
Yeah.
I mean, like the moment she's talking about, it's like falling in love with a god or a mountain or whatever that can never love you back. And she's like, if he loved me, he'd be here. Whatever. All this, I'm like, that was amazing. And he's like, hello, sweetie. I was like, oh, that's it. I'm happy. Oh, he admits he loves her without even saying it. It's basically it. You know? So, even his comments, Peter Capaldi's like, who did you love, Clara or... You know, whatever you said talking about Clara and River, he's like, well, Clara was my friend, but River's my wife. And that was a good answer. Because it's like, there you go. Happy with that, man. Classic, classy style, you know, old school. You know, they didn't even kiss or nothing. It was like, you know? They didn't even need to kiss. You knew.
Yeah, it was perfect.
You knew.
It was.
They were they were just into each other. And bouncing off each other like that was amazing. It was amazing how they were bouncing off each other. Like, you know, they started talking and flirting. And it was ridiculous. And he was like a gentleman. Perfect. Dead on, man. Dead on.
Honestly, I'm being serious here. No discredit to Matt Smith, but I think this interaction here was better than anything him and Alex Kingston had, in my opinion.
Absolutely. This was the best interaction with River, and that's probably why Matt Smith was upset. But let me tell you, this was chemistry, man. Because you could feel it. You could feel it, even though they had a little chemistry, her and Matt Smith, the age difference was kind of off. He's like a baby in a way, you know? And it's like, that's not her doctor. And I always felt that couldn't be. Couldn't be her doctor. No way, because look at the way he looked at her when she's like talking about loving me and naming a doctor. And he's like, I couldn't because it would hurt too much, you know? But he loved Clara. It's like, all right, I got to go my time stream, so take care, you know? And he was telling her, look, just fade away, meaning that her body's gone and that's it. Like, just give up. But she did not. I don't think in naming a doctor that was it for her either. I think she went right back in the library. You know, and I think that overall she'll find a way out because obviously we know from the audios she gets out of the library. So that could span a whole new thing with Capaldi, with River, if need be. But I get the feeling with Moffat that he's clearing up and paving the way for a new showrunner. He's going to answer whatever he has to answer. He's not going to create any overwhelming plot things. And I think he's just going to, with Series 10, he's going to clean house, and it's going to be a clean slate. No River, no Clara, no. Just for whoever the next person's going to do what they want to do, he's just going to, I believe he's going to answer the questions.
I tell you what, too. If next series is Moffat's last series, I know I said something different before. I would not be surprised if Capaldi regenerates.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at all.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not, because let me tell you something. I honestly think that when you get a new showrunner, they get the choice. And I got to say, unfortunately, you know, when new people come into something, they like to do their own people. They get to, you know what I'm saying? Like when Russell T. Davies left, David Tennant wasn't going to be that Moffat would ever write with David Tennant. That was not going to happen. So it's a team. So Capaldi probably will leave with Moffat. You know, whether they got along or not or whatever, I honestly think he even said it, Capaldi, a little bit. It's a possibility. Clean slate, whole new direction, new reboot. Meaning, not that it's going to be it's going to be the same show, but I'm telling you, I think the Doctor's going to be 20-something years old, in his 20s. He's going to have a young companion. It's going to take off, and it's going to be totally different, crazy stuff going on. Unless
the next showrunner is a current writer on the show now, and they request that Capaldi stays. Like
that's different.
Maybe they have ideas like, hey, I could do this with the 12th Doctor, so Capaldi, can you stay?
Right.
Because I'd love to see that.
See, here's my thing. If it was up to me, I want Capaldi to stay.
Because Same here.
I 100% want him to stay because I have faith in his Doctor. I didn't have faith in the way the writers... And isn't it funny how... And I just want to point this out to everybody out there watching this podcast. Isn't it funny how we said... Don't you think maybe he needs to go get some new writers? And isn't it funny how Series 10, that's exactly what Moffat's doing. He's getting new writers. I just want to put that out there for a minute, okay? The theme needs to change with Series 10, okay? Moffat, personally, needs to resolve some leftover stuff and clean house before he gives up the show. Now, again, we may have Moffat for another 2 years. That will be fine with me. But I really think that he needs to stop with the new things creating about new questions. Forget about new questions that we would have to ask. Let's resolve the old questions with answers. And I think that's what Series 10... Hey, what's up, Ray?
Sorry I took so long. I just had to get a drink.
No problem.
Hey, Ray.
All right, Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas. You too. Oh, what a day.
So, what did you think, Ray?
I liked it, but I missed out on an opportunity.
What's the opportunity?
The ending.
What about it?
Know that people, know that they were saying that David Tennant was there. I would have said at the ending that they would have gone back to the library and showed what happened to her after the Singing Towers. If the people didn't see it.
No, but everybody knows that.
Yeah, but people didn't. Yeah, but if people didn't see it, like if people have only just started seeing it in the last few years.
No, I think it's pretty much people know that, you know, he takes her to the Singing Towers and then she goes to the library. You know? So, I mean, he didn't mention a library, but that leaves it open for maybe another River appearance. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But I'm completely satisfied with the end. Completely. What about you, Ray? I mean, you completely happy with the episode?
Yeah, I'm completely happy with the episode, but that's what I think anyway. But because that's all I'm saying. I just think that it would have been nice to see the end in case, like I was saying, that's all.
But the whole ending was going to be the Singing Towers, not library. I mean, the library was...
I know, but no, that's what I know. But that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, if people like just started watching it in the last few years and they didn't know what happened with her, if you know what I mean.
It was Netflix. I mean, you could, you know, or DVDs or whatever, you know. I don't know, man. I loved it. What do you rate it?
8.5.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow, and my rating's probably gonna be pretty high based on what I liked about it overall. So, I know it's Christmas, guys, so I didn't expect everybody to be in here. I just wanted to get whoever I can get in here. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. You guys had a great Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Great time with family?
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah, I had a great time with Sharon and my family, and you know, and then we got back today, and it was just really nice. So very happy, good times. So probably gonna go see Star Wars again on probably tomorrow, and then again on Sunday. We'll see. Because I can't get enough of that movie. So all right. On that note, if anybody want to do an everything show, or that's it.
I'm up for it.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind.
Let's go. Everything show. All right, guys. Take care. Bye for now. Merry Christmas.